I'm Kenny Thrower. I'm 56 years old, and I've battled too many drugs to even count throughout my life. I don't remember a lot about my younger years. I remember certain things, and they just really aren't happy things. I was molested as a child, all right? So I've got all these feelings of guilt. It's my fault, you know. I don't understand any of it. I don't know why. It's got to be my fault. What did I do? Drugs take all that away. And we moved to the street, and it was a lot of kids my age and a little bit older. And I was just attracted to the ones that were smoking marijuana. And so I started doing that about 10 years old, smoking marijuana. And the first time I did it, everything that hurt me inside went away. And so I went at it. I went at it really hard. They put me in my first rehab when I was 11. Then when I came out, I went right back to the stuff because I didn't know any other way to not feel the terribleness that I felt. You know, now that I know, I can look back and see that, you know, I had depression when I was young. I had anxiety when I was young, you know, and nobody ever diagnosed that. And I just had to deal with it. We didn't have a lot, me and my mom. So I had to go to work and help her. And I did that at 16. I became a cook. Thought it was the greatest thing ever. And did that for 2 years, and then I went into the service. I learned to drink while I was in the Army, and came back and did a lot of drinking, went to work, found a job in the town, just started moving forward with life, but it was like drinking every night, using drugs every night. You know, I had the money to do it, so I got married at the age of 27. She had 4 kids. So I helped raise them, but kids get older, and then I had a lot of free time on my hands, so I went back to drinking and drugging. And by the time 2001 came along, the mill shut down. I lost my mom and got divorced within 3 months of each other. So to me, that was just, I was devastated, just totally devastated. And so I started drinking my life away. Discovered pills a few years later. In 2017, I discovered heroin. That was the one that destroyed me. Within a year, I lost everything. Good job. This really nice girl I was dating, all my money, everything. And then I was driving to work. I don't remember like a 2-week span. I have a lot of those, but this one, I was told by the officer that I almost crashed into a car full of 2 kids and parents, and I almost killed them. I almost head on at like 60, 70 mile an hour. They arrested me. I woke up in the hospital days later, and it was just, I decided at that point enough was enough. You know, so I heard about the 180, and I thought 14 months, man, I can get away from everything then, you know, and got in here and actually learned some life skills, you know, how to talk to people, you know. As I got to know and love Christ more and more, it gave me more confidence in myself and in life, and now I'm not quite as afraid of it. I met a bunch of guys that had the same problem, a lot of the same mental illness. I learned through these guys that I needed to forgive. Guilt and shame has played such a big part in my life that it's just buried me, and it was so hard to dig out of that. But, you know, with this much time in this program, and then afterwards, because the 180 allows you to come back and come back and come back. They don't just kick you out. I've been able to forgive myself and get rid of a lot of that shame, because the things that I did and the things that happened to me when I was young wasn't me. I'm me now, you know. It helped me. I've always had a firm belief in God as my Lord, and but it helped me learn a lot more about Him, you know, and His grace. He takes care of a lot of the problems that I have in my head, but I know that he leaves plenty there for me to work on too, because I always have to be working. A lot of people think because they have problems that God's messing with them or testing them and all that. And I think God does enough for us to be okay and wants us to take that extra mile and do a little bit more ourselves. He wants us working on it too. When you get out there and you get a job and you start to meet the people that are just living in the regular world, it's a culture shock. It's like, oh my God, nothing's changed out here. I'm so glad that I have, But something was missing. And I wasn't really helping anybody, And it was just like, when I went through my 30-day rehab before I came here, there was a behavioral health tech that really helped me. And I've always wanted to do that. And I was like, wait a minute, I've got time under my belt now, I'm gonna give it a shot. And so I did it. I work on the behavioral health floor, the psych floor, and I take vitals and run groups, but basically, if I see somebody going through some things, I'll try and talk to them. I've been able to connect with patients that others can't, just because I give them my story, and I've qualified myself to sit beside them. And it's also the best therapy I've ever had for an addict or somebody with mental issues. We have to speak out. You got to talk to somebody. Look, I've been in these places. I got out. Look at me. Look at what I'm doing. You can do it too. If I can get out, you can.